we are starting right now because that's just how my brain works. Conversations, not belittling yourself in your head. Something that my therapist and I have been talking about a lot is goals and how to achieve health goals and life goals and setting those goals to be realistic and attainable. So we are starting right now. I am not waiting until January 1st of 2023 to start focusing on those things because we have 2 weeks. We can implement a lot of things in 2 weeks, right? Even just little tiny small things. So my homework for this week was to do a gigantic brain dump and pick one thing that I wanted to focus on for 1 week. That's it. Sounds pretty easy. I don't think it's gonna be, but I want you guys to grab a pen, a paper, a notebook, somewhere where you're going to remember it, where it's at. I struggle with that part, but I have it in my notebook that I'm using for like my videos and things this year, so easy to remember. And we are going to first just do a gigantic brain dump of all the health goals and life goals. It doesn't even have to be weight loss or eating. It can be your career, a business. So we're just gonna write every single thing down. That was honestly harder than I thought it was going to be because I wrote down goals not just for health and weight loss. I wrote down like life goals, mental health goals. I tried to just pick apart every aspect of my life that I want to not necessarily change, but improve upon. So I have 1 page front and then half to 3/4 of the back. I left room because I'm sure that I will add to this or adjust this because as the year goes on, goals need to adapt and change with you. There are a few goals that I want to point out to you that I set that are much different than last year's. One of them is focusing on goals throughout the entire year. I really have only been focused on my goals the last, I would say 3 months. And I made this vision board last year and I truly love it. I love the stuff that I put on it. And I really want to manifest that board for my life. Like I really want that board to come true. And in order to do that, it doesn't take 3 months of work. It takes the full 12. So writing down, focusing on my goals the whole year is something that I've necessarily not ever done before. So I'm really happy that I put that one on there. And another thing that I tried to do when writing these down is more so not focusing on the quick fixes, because for me, those don't create habits that are going to last a lifetime. And that is truly what I want. Good things in life take time and I am not very patient. I try something for a little bit and then if it doesn't work, I move on. However, that's not how you're going to get to your goals if you want to accomplish things. So really trying to focus on things that I can do for an entire year to help me be the person that I envision myself to be a year from now. So let's kind of delve into that a little bit. So I sat here and I thought, okay, in 1 year from now, what do I want the person sitting in this chair writing goals for 2024 to be like? what do I want her to have accomplished in a year? And that was a lot of the motivating factors for me writing these. I want her to have a healthier relationship with food. I want her to not have had a binge eating relapse. I want her to not focus on the scale as much. I want her to be more comfortable in her skin. I want her to set boundaries for her peace and her sanity. This is just kind of the way that I talked to myself, because saying it like that made it, I don't know, it made it more motivating, if that makes sense. Just saying that out loud, saying, I want her, you're speaking of your future self, I want her to be healthier. I want her to be happier. So try that if you're struggling to write goals that feel attainable and realistic. Just put yourself back in this chair in 1 year, and what do you want to change? All right, so in the beginning, I said that we were going to pick one goal and we were going to focus on that this week. I'm gonna pick one that I have already been focusing on this week a little bit, but I'm gonna delve deeper into it the next 4 days, because for me, it's already Thursday. So that'll be 3 days that I can really focus on it before I add another level to it. Does that make sense? So the one that I want to focus on, it's one that I actually thought of like almost last, heal relationship with foods and reframe mindset, because it's something that I've already been doing. And this is something that has really helped me also with my binge eating. I have kind of reworked how I am speaking to myself about the foods that I eat and the foods that I want. Heal relationship with food and reframe mindset. And then underneath this, we are going to add 3 things that we can implement this week to help us reach that goal. So the first subset I did is checking in with emotions. As somebody who is an emotional eater, it takes a lot for me to divulge between, am I eating emotionally right now, or am I actually hungry? Or what triggered me to have this craving? I have been having more internal conversations, and they're not like battles. They're more so conversations with myself, not necessarily being like, why do you want this food right now? This is not a food you can have. You can't have this food. I don't understand why you want this food right now. Just completely ignore it. I'm more so having conversations about like, okay, today was overwhelming. I'm feeling extremely overwhelmed, and I need the food to comfort me, because that is how I know what will comfort me. Okay, what are some other things that I know comfort me that aren't food? Conversations, not belittling yourself in your head. The next one is going to be stop saying I can't. For a really long time, I was using the words, I can't eat that. I can't have that. When in reality, I can. I don't necessarily have any dietary restrictions. This is all by choice. Like, I choose to not eat sugar and carbs because I don't want to become pre-diabetic, and other reasons. It also increases my anxiety and increases my depression. There are reasons that I choose not to eat these foods. However, I can eat them. I can have them. So I've started doing this a while ago, kind of got off of it. I need to start doing it again. Is not telling myself, well, I can't have that, because then my brain is like, oh, we can't have it. Let's crave it. Let's want it. We need more of it, because that's just how my brain works. Instead of saying, I can't have that, I have been saying, I don't want that. I check in with myself. I'm like, do you actually really want that? And I'll feel like, actually, no, I don't want that. So I will either say, I don't want that, or there was something I said and I really enjoyed it, but I kind of forgot it. What was it? It was something along the lines of like, that doesn't serve me right now. Like, that's not what I said, but I don't know. It doesn't get me to my end goal. You know, saying things like that to yourself really puts things into perspective of, yes, I can have that cheesecake. I absolutely can. However, it doesn't really serve my goals right now. Just kind of reframing how you talk to yourself and how you speak about the foods that you can't have. And then the last one, there are no bad foods. Are there foods that are bad for you? 100%. Absolutely. But when I say that that is bad for me, or just if I say any food is bad, it's kind of the same as I can't. When I'm like, well, that's bad for you. You can't have that because it's bad for you. You know, what does that actually mean? And it's also kind of something that I'm trying to work on with my son, is not labeling foods good and bad. So I've just taught him, you know, like foods with more sugar affect your body this way, and foods that are more natural and from animals and come out of the ground and things like that, those are healthier for you. So I've tried to reframe his mindset around food, because I didn't grow up with that mindset. I grew up with, well, that's bad for you. You can't have it. So I've just been trying to teach him that food is food. You know what I mean? Like, food shouldn't be good. It shouldn't be bad. You should be able to eat food and not feel guilty about it. However, knowing that if you are eating a lot of McDonald's, if you're eating a lot of chips, like those things are gonna have negative effects on you. So just trying to take the words bad out of it, like, oh, sugar is so bad for you. Sugar in high quantities is not going to be healthy for you. You know what I mean? And that is taking time. But I actually realized that I was teaching my son that, but I wasn't implementing it in my own life. I was still using those words for my own things. I was like, well, I'm trying to teach him how to not be a binge eater, an overeater, an emotional eater. Why am I not implementing these things in my own life? This goal, though, I think is going to be the one game-changing thing for me, because I have never thought about food differently. I have always thought about it as like a reward. It's always been a positive or a negative. It's never been a neutral. And that would be great if I could think about food as a neutral. So my friends, that brings us to the end of our little goal setting for this week. I will probably be sharing with you guys what goals I'm working on when they change. I'm going to be working on this one for a week and a half though, because I don't have therapy again. And I really want to kind of like focus on it and nail it down. So when I talk to my therapist again, I can get a better idea of like what this exercise is and all of that. But I thought that it would be helpful. I had never heard of like setting goals this way. So I figured I would share. And if you guys find it helpful, let me know if you have any tips or ways that you set goals and actually work towards them and achieve them. Please let me know. I'm always here for that. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day. I don't even know. Sorry for missing yesterday. I just took a mental health day because I was struggling a little bit. I feel better today because I did kind of rest and relax and recharge a little bit. But yeah, I needed it, and I always practice, you know, give yourself a break when you feel like you need it. Your body will tell you. My body's told me and I listened. So anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.